There you go. Good job. Can I get a high five? Good job. Y'all did good. So I'm currently painting a mural over in Broadway East, doing a mural project with 3 other artists. And today was really just one of those days where you can't explain public art, but this is the reason why I do what I do. So I'm steady painting, and it's summertime here in Baltimore. I'm on the east side, Baltimore, North Avenue in Rutland. And kids are playing outside, got the scooters, got the bikes, everything like that. And it was these 2 cousins. They looked like they said they was in first grade. I remember that. They told me they was in first grade. So, me, I'm painting. I'm like, y'all know how to paint? He's like, yeah, I know how to paint. So I'm like, y'all want to help paint the mural? And they got so excited. And the thing is, the look on their face, to just give them an opportunity of something new. They probably play outside every single day, but it's not every day that they got somebody painting in their community, doing artwork on a grand scale, size of this wall. And bonus points, they look like them. I'm a black man here in Baltimore painting a mural on the side of the wall. I'm not the one to always use the race card, but it's very, very important, and it's facts. It's true. So they were painting. I was like, you can get the paintbrush. You got to just make sure you stay in between the lines. The thing about painting, you can't rush, and you got to be very, concise and very, very careful. So the first girl, she went up first. She was very excited, got the paintbrush, and she was going real slow in between the lines like this, going real slow. And I'm like, you know what you're doing? That's talent right there, because at that young of an age, you have attention to detail. I didn't have to teach them anything. It's just me communicating. You got paint in your hands. You stay in between these 2 lines, and you see how kids react. Some kids, they might be a little wild. They might be very excited. Some kids take it very meticulous, and you can just tell from just from nature, human nature, that she's careful. She pays attention, very, attention to detail oriented, which I thought was amazing, because it just shows from an early age just how she goes about things. And it can be for whatever reason. I don't know these children from a can of paint, but I am here to, just show them something new. And I think when you do public art, that's community center public art, put it that way, because I'm a muralist, but there's so many different types of muralists. Some muralists don't like to talk to anybody. Some like just to be in their own world. But for me, when you do public art, keyword, public, that's the first word, and art. Art is for the public. That's the whole meaning for it. You come into these communities where it's usually not your neighborhood, and you're presenting something new to them. So when people come by and they talk to you, I personally think it's your duty to talk to them and let them know what's going on, what you're working on, and just give them, words about the mural, what it means. They're the ones that have to cohabitate with it every day. And, having those conversations with adults is always interesting, because you never know, the lanes and the paths that people, come by. But the kids are different, because kids are so fresh. Kids are so new. Their reactions are very genuine. They don't hold any fluff and things like that. So to definitely, have them come and paint was definitely exciting. But let me get back to, the girl. So she was so meticulous, and she was saying, I was asking, is this your brother? She said, no, we're cousins. I'm like, okay, you give your little cousin a chance. And it was a boy, and he was a little bit more, hyper, a little bit more excited and things like that. So she was like, make sure you stay in between the lines. And she was telling him that, and he was just excited to paint. So he took the paintbrush, and when he was going a little bit fast, going outside the lines a little bit. And it's all good. Like, anything can be corrected in art. That's how I look at it. So it's not like he was messing up the work or anything like that, but it's just interesting to see those 2 different patterns from, their family members. And they were playing together outside to see that. So it was just a very eye-opening and, confirming thing with me, what I do when I come into neighborhoods and paint and things like that. And it's part of the entire experience. It's not just the end result of the product and the murals, but it's how people interact with them. And usually the journey for me is the most important part, because that's the part where people are actually indulging, and that's the impact that they truly have. You're not just hiring me to paint something to look pretty on the walls. It's all about the entire interaction, the process of talking to the community. The project started a year ago, going to the community center and talking to the residents, getting their feedback, getting their ideas. Me and 3 other artists teamed up for this one. And now we're at the point of implementation where you get the interaction of people actually in the community. So been so exciting. So, you know, I'm thinking it's all, you know, over and done with. They get back on their scooters and they go, you know, play along, go through the alley, I guess, back to their house. So then 5 minutes later, Rod, who was on the mural with me, he was like, hope you didn't open Pandora's box. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I think, you know, it was just them playing. Why they come back around the corner with the whole family? It was about 3 other kids with them saying, I forgot their names, saying, he wants to paint too, he wants to paint too. And the girl was like, he's sloppy, he's not going to know how to paint in between the lines. But it's just so funny because they brought the whole gang with them. And for them to do that, you know, organically, it just shows how exciting they are and just introducing them to this new idea. They may never have seen a muralist in action before, painting, let alone in their community, in their neighborhood. So just having that experience, like, you can't make that up. It's very, very confirming of the work that I do. So I just wanted to share that because it just shows you it's not just about the end product. The process is the most important part, I think, of doing things like this, and that's where the value truly comes. Of course, this is going to last for years to come, but the interactions that you get from people, from children, especially today, from the kids and people that walk by that have words. Another lady came by today and said, you know, my son draws and everything, and I tell him he needs to do some stuff like this, so can he come and help paint? We're having a community paint day. But it just shows the excitement, and that's the thing that you can't make up, that I always talk about with murals and art, is you can't make this up at all. You can't make it up. It's definitely something that's genuine, and the reactions from people are so real. It's not made up, it's no fluff, and that's what I love about it, man. So this is day 9 of me on the mural, but this is just Mural Chronicles. Maybe that's what I call this series, just me explaining the interactions I have while I paint murals, because a lot of times it's priceless, and today was one of those moments. They really started off with just, you know, 2 cousins. They were 6 years old. One was in 1st grade, one was in 2nd grade, one was in kindergarten, I think. And then they came back and brought the whole gang to get some painting in as well, man. You can't make these moments up. That's why I do what I do, man. I ain't here to ramble, but y'all need to hear that, because it shows you the power of art and the beauty of what I do. Because I feel like it's a profession that's not talked about a lot. So to see the interaction it's mad dope. It's so fulfilling. I just love it, man. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Show me some love, and we keep going with these Mural Chronicles.